Right next to the news, we have our own scoop. WIDR Kalamazoo. Right next to the news, we have our own scoop. WIDR Kalamazoo. Right next to the news, we have our own scoop. WIDR Kalamazoo.
Welcome back to the Western Herald Sports Podcast. I'm joined by the Western Herald's lead sports reporter, Jack Meneke. I'm Ben Epstein. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Western Herald. And today we're joined in studio by men's tennis head coach, Coach Dave Morin, and star athlete Peter Kuszynski. Thank you guys for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
So I know not everybody's familiar with what our tennis team has done this year. So if you guys just want to give like a bit of background, Coach Morin, if you want to start, just how you got here, what the program has been like the last few years, just give us a little bit of background.
Well, let's see. I guess if we start with the most current, we've been on we won 5 regular seasons in a row now.
Yeah.
4 tournament championships. So we've had a good run going here with this group of guys. COVID gave us an extra year with Peter and Fen Losa, one of our Germans. We have another senior, Arjun Hanapa. So we're led by our seniors and our super seniors. We'll be hosting the Mid-American Conference tournament this coming weekend, where we'll be the number 2 seed. Typically we've been, winning all those championships. I think we've had the target on our back a little bit, which, I always feel like is a little more difficult to play, with that target on your back versus being, maybe a slight underdog. So we're looking forward to, playing our best this coming weekend. And with guys like Peter and Fen and Arjun, I think we're going to have a really great opportunity ahead of us here.
Peter, Coach Morin has done a lot with this program. You talked about all the success you guys have had recently. Talk about when you first got here, what attracted you to Coach Morin and the team and, just Western in general.
Yeah, so I kind of knew a guy here. His name was Zach Favre, a former Canadian, and he praised his program a lot, the winning culture. And I remember emailing Coach about 100 times, and, maybe finally he got back and came out to Canada to watch me play. And I guess, he liked what he saw and came on a visit, and I think the next day I committed or signed my national letter of intent. And yeah, the reason I came here was a winning culture, right? You see the banners at West Hill, you see portfolios of players, what we've done, and to me that's important. I like winning. I want to play for something. I want to go out and win. So that's kind of what led me here, and I've been fortunate to continue with this success. Winning's not easy, and sometimes you take it for granted, and with the few losses we had this year, you kind of remember bad stuff instead of all the good things that have happened in my 5 years here.
Yeah, before we get into talking about the recent MAC regular season title, I kind of wanted to talk about that little bad stretch you had kind of before this last part of the season where you guys have really put it together, in tough times like that. How do you guys lean on each other? What do we look at in terms of trying to right the ship when something like that happens?
As Coach always says in interviews and stuff, he built this definitely the toughest schedule I've seen, and I'm pretty analytical, so I always look back in previous years and I always look at the schedules and the teams we've played, and this year was a grind. We spent maybe 60% of the season on the road traveling. We called ourselves the Road Warriors, going up to Wisco, Indiana, Purdue. That Buffalo trip, 3 matches, 3 days. It's not easy being on the road. Everyone thinks the athlete lifestyle is, it's fun traveling on the road, but once you get in those vans, you start playing, your body gets sore. Now you got to add homework, somewhat of a social life, and then you got to compete. So people don't take that into perspective when you're on the road, and it's not easy. You go to different facilities, different courts, fans getting under your skin, other players getting under your skin, and you're just not comfortable. I like sleeping in my own bed, so I can't stand a hotel bed. So whenever we're home, that's I guess why we have good home success. But yeah, being on the road ain't easy, and the way we've turned it around, we were 6 matches in a row on the road, and we finally got to play at home in front of our fans. Soccer guys get out there, get rowdy. The women's team comes out. Coach's golf buddies come out and cheer us on, and it's a good atmosphere to play in front of West Hills. And Dan, what he's doing with athletics, turning it around, having everyone support the new scoreboard, and everyone wants to get out there and support the Broncos.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Morin, do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, just to build on that a little bit. Yeah, we had played, I think, 4 Big Ten schools along with Notre Dame, and then we had some other top-notch programs like Drake and Cornell. Cornell was high 20s, 29, I think, in the country. So kind of a fine line, I think, between, really challenging our guys and then building confidence. But I think to really grow your game and be as good as you can possibly be, we talk about it's like lifting weights. If you want to get stronger, you got to put a little more weight on the bar, a little more resistance. So we came close to winning a couple more of those matches. We still beat Purdue, so we have close to 40 Big Ten wins, I think, during my tenure here at Western. So a credit to all these guys and all the hard work that they've put in. But I think that gives you a lot of confidence too when you beat those teams. And I do think that's kind of really how you grow your individual game, and then in turn you grow the program, I think.
No, absolutely. And then after that, bit and that road stretch, you guys have come home, recently put together your 28th regular season championship in the MAC. Just talk about what that feeling is like. I mean, you've built this culture here that I guess that's, kind of expected, but also it's a huge accomplishment on top of itself. Just both of you talk about, what this kind of means to you and that kind of momentum coming into the tournament will be like.
Yeah, for me, and for the guys, I feel like it's, it's what you work towards every year. We talk about, several things, having, being in the regional rankings, both as a team and individually, being in the regional rankings, being in the national rankings, beating the Big Ten schools, and then winning the conference title and winning winning the regular season and winning the tournament. So it's very close. A lot of parity in the league this year, and like Peter was saying a little bit, you can kind of take the winning for granted, and maybe not appreciate sometimes all the little challenges and the fine line between winning and losing. Mm-hmm. So, we lost to Toledo this year, and they have a really good team, but it was, whenever you lose, you're disappointed. But it's, and I've heard other coaches talk about this too, where they remember the losses much more so than the wins. A year ago we had 35 wins in a row in the MAC, but you kind of remember the loss that you had. And so I think whenever you win a championship, it's, you appreciate, you look back and a little bit of a sigh of relief, like, man, we got it done. Sometimes it's close, but and then we put that aside, and hopefully we can be focused in for this coming weekend.
Now, Peter, what did that mean to you and your teammates, locking that up this past weekend?
Yeah, that's one of the goals, every year, win the regular season and then go dancing in the tournament the week after. But for me personally, my goal here coming in was to win championships. That's why I came back here for a 5th year. My goal wasn't to just stay around here, hit some balls, do some schoolwork. I wanted to go 4 for 4, right? And I want to be, known as, one of the winning guys, and, I just want to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you see the guys' celebrations at the end. It means a lot to us because of all the hard work we put in. All the guys go out individually, like every day. Guys in my apartment are leaving, and you ask them where they're going. Oh, I'm going to extra work with Stephen Payne, and guys practicing twice a day, going extra work, and then we pick up injuries. Guys are always taking care of themselves. Everyone's stretching in the house, and it comes to show you what we do off the court. I mean, these guys have gone through it all. I mean, we've gone through hell and back, and we're just tough. We're tough, and it's going to show this weekend when we go out there and do great things.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you alluded to earlier how you had this really strong senior class, and they've kind of held things down. Peter, what does it mean to have like a group of guys around you that have been here with you for this whole time, and have that level of success around you this entire run that you've had?
Yeah, it's been great to have, Finn and Arjun. I mean, I'm the last guy of the class who came in my freshman year, and I think I give a lot of credit to my seniors my freshman year. Tremendous, those guys taught me so much as a 18-year-old freshman from Canada who knew nobody here. They really took me under their wing and taught me a lot of things. And Lenny Hopt is one guy that I give a lot of credit to. He came out for my senior day, actually. Took me under his wing, taught me everything there is to being a leader, holding your players accountable, being a good teammate, and how to better yourself, because that guy worked pretty damn hard. And Yannick Opitz, the GOAT of WMU men's tennis. I mean, being under his belt for 4 years, you learn a lot from these guys, and I guess sharing those experiences with the guys, and you always learn from the young guys too, but the most important thing is sharing all those experiences so you leave a legacy here. And I guess that's kind of my goal, is to leave a legacy, because we want to maintain that winning culture, and coach wants to keep winning, and I guess that's what we keep preaching.
And then Coach Morin, Peter talked about it a little bit, but with Yannick leaving, and you still have this big amount of experience with this group of guys that are still here, what does it mean to have a group of guys that you can rely on like them?
Well, yeah, I think it's all those experiences that they've gone through. We talked about, stepping on the court and playing like a veteran, because there really should be no surprises, because usually there's a surprise or two every year that you play. Who knows? It could be the court, it could be the venue, it could be the crowd that comes out. You don't expect a crowd to come out, or someone, like Peter says, gets underneath your skin, or someone gets sick. I mean, we've had some of this freaky stuff happen to us this year too. We had a guy sprain his ankle the day before we had a match because he's stepped on the ball. Bad luck doing that type of thing. So I think, the senior leadership and having these veteran players has been crucial to our success. And again, I think we can build upon that going into this weekend as well.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you've had like a strong, younger class that has also put in a lot of tremendous work. Could you talk just specifically about some of those individual players and what they've done this season and what you've seen that's impressed you?
Yeah, so if we only have a roster of 8, which is kind of a thin line again of having a team that you can put out on the court. Mm-hmm. But I do think if you can keep everybody healthy, I love that small team, because everybody has to feel like, hey, I'm the next one in. Sometimes we've had those teams where you have 11 and maybe you're 5 slots away from getting in there. Mm-hmm. And so maybe you're like, does it really matter if I really give a great effort today, because I'm probably not going in for a while. So we go down our roster from after our 3 seniors. The rest are juniors and then 1 sophomore. So Anton Arzonkin is from Moscow, and he's been on a tear. I think he's won maybe 9 out of 10, I think, only losing to Cornell. And so he's been super solid for us. Ben George, a junior, has been playing 1 and 2 for us, along with Anton. And then Peter's holding down those top 3 slots as well. Brogan Pierce, Bertie Schluter, another German that's, that lives with Finn Lose, our super senior German. So what makes us, I think, a very good team is we don't have any, I don't think we have any holes in our lineup. Even if we have a guy go out and we put someone else in, I think we have the best depth in the league, even though we just have 8 guys. And that has played out for us in some matches where we had to take someone out and put someone else in. So I think we've got a lot of options. And again, it's been a really good group of guys to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. So upcoming, we've got the MAC championships being hosted at home for you guys. Peter, how does it mean? You alluded to it a bit earlier, how it's nice, sleeping in your own bed and just being around, a court that you're familiar with. What does having the MAC championships, mean to you specifically, the team, and, to the community in general?
2 words, the home court advantage, or 3 words. When we play, last year, the finals, man, holy smokes, the turnout we had. All of athletics was there, parents, former alumni, got rowdy in there, and that's one of the most electric environments I've ever played at home, and that's a huge advantage for us. We're a very vocal team, we're a very energetic team, and just getting people out there and coming out to support us is huge. In college tennis, there's a lot of energy environment, and playing in front of people, it gives you an extra boost, especially being at home, and maybe that's the home court advantage, right? You look at the NBA, NHL, NFL, that home court advantage counts for something, and I think that's really important. But yeah, like I said, you get to stick to your routines. You don't have to adjust to traveling, eating out all the time. You sleep in your own bed, make your own meals, or, coach takes you out for dinner the night before. We'll see. I'm trying to work them already. We'll see.
Always working us.
But yeah, we like playing at home. I mean, we train here all year round, so we like our courts and we have the best facilities, so we want to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Morin, what does it mean to you specifically?
Well, I do think it's all those things that Peter mentioned. It's we went out yesterday and watched our women play Toledo, and Peter's sister plays for Toledo, and so you can see this where the crowd can kind of get on the opposing player a little bit, and I think it puts the spotlight on that other player, and so especially for tennis, we're not used to playing in arenas. Let's say we're talking about the NBA here earlier. We're not playing in front of 18,000 people. So all of a sudden, if you feel like 5 people really have the spotlight on you, or 10 or 15 or 20, I think they play with a little more fear, kind of like they hope they don't screw up. I hope I don't let my teammates down. And so I think that's where the home court for us is. We can go out and we can play loose and go in to get something because we feel like everyone's behind us. And I think that crowd can also do the opposite for the visitors, I think.
And then, kind of to wrap things up, I know you guys are, really, really focused on this weekend, but just to look a little bit forward, I know we have the NCAA tournament coming up after that if things go well this weekend. That's kind of been a little bit of a hump for you guys. Starting with you, Coach Morin, what does it mean, what would it mean to, get to that level and, finally, I think, have that success? Because I think that's something I'm sure that sits in the back of your mind.
Yeah, that's because I was looking at our kind of our record book over the years. So for whatever reason right now, we've won the regular season 13 times.
Yep.
We've won the tournament 14 times. We've been to the NCAAs. We've won the MAC tournament 14 times. Been to the NCAAs 15 times. Have not won a first round match. Typically, we're playing a team that's top 10 in the country. So yeah, that would be a huge achievement for us. It can be done. It's going to be, we all need to have a great day, and all have to believe. It's we talk about beating the man in the mirror. I think you have to beat the guy you're looking at in the mirror first before you're going to have success, against the guy across the court. But it can be done. We start looking at the highlights of each one of our guys. If we took their best win during their career, or their best 2 or 3 wins, those wins I think would win us a round or 2 in the NCAA. So we all need to have great days, and and have a couple bounces go our way, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter, what would it mean to you to get that first NCAA tournament win? To be the leader of that group. What would that mean to you and your teammates?
Yeah, I mean that'd be the goal. I've been in the tournament, I guess, 3 times now, and came up short 3 times, and no one's ever done it here. So that would be something I'd like to be a part of. Whether I win or lose, it would be going down in the record books. A small school with a huge upset, and in our area, I mean, Midwest tennis is damn good. You got Ohio State, 2 in the country, Michigan 4 in the country. You got Illinois, that's 15. So you're gonna have to go there and do something special. And as Coach says, why not the Broncos?
It's a perfect way to end it. Thank you guys for joining us. You can catch the men's tennis team this weekend at West Hills Athletic Club in the MAC Championship. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Go Broncos.
Go Bronx.